1 year ago, I started an insane experiment, and if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know my experiments are pretty crazy. However, this one may just top them all. You've probably seen this cucumber before, and I want to tell you the story of how we ended up with a tie-dyed cucumber. Let me explain. You see, everything started because I wanted to grow a cucumber-shaped oyster shell skull scallop. My goal was to grow this thing into the craziest shape ever known to humankind, basically coin a new fruit that ended up looking like Patrick from SpongeBob, and to see if it grew seeds that we could take and use to grow into another experiment that I'll tell you about in a second. But first, we gotta rewind a bit because this thing grew seeds, and I had never seen a cucumber with seeds before because the ones in the Canadian grocery stores don't have seeds because they picked them too early to sell them, and I was so excited. And it got me thinking, I should take these seeds and grow them into a cucumber plant, and then take that cucumber and a shell shape and figure out how to coin a new fruit. So I tried this with 20 seeds, got some on a damp paper towel to grow, and got them carefully in soil. They were very sticky, and I put them in my grow box to optimize the chances of success, yet only one sprouted. I was astonished, a little disappointed. I thought, you know what, one is enough. One little lucky sucker. Well, soon it started to shoot up and grow into its very own plant, cucumbers. And you won't believe it, but 12 weeks passed and cucumbers started to grow that were all different shapes and sizes. And this part is very straightforward because the cucumber grew and finally it was ready to get the shape on it. But here's where I made a mistake, because what I should have done was put the shape on the cucumber before it ever got so mature, like the middle child mature, but I didn't because I've never done this before, so I didn't know how to do it. Plus, the second mistake is the shell shape, because the material needed to be much harder and less soft in order for the cucumber shape to grow properly. But again, I didn't know this until trying it. But we did it anyway, and the weeks passed, around 5 or 6 of them. And the cucumber shell Patrick from SpongeBob was starting to look like it was getting pretty thick. But here's where I got pretty upset, because it kind of started to turn yellow, and I would even try to squish the shell shape to see if the sides were starting to morph to the shape. And although it felt pretty thick, it didn't feel like Patrick, and I was worried. But when I started to see it turn yellow, I knew it was a sign from Mother Earth to pick your fruits, because that's how you know they're gonna go bad very soon after. There was also a little black hole that looked like little buggers were trying to get into my cucumber and make a 5-course meal for 20 of their family members. Or maybe it was a squirrel, but I have a sidekick who helps me deter those squirrels. Anyway, it was time to pick the cucumber because we didn't want it to get eaten, so we had to pick it. And I thought, wait a minute, I also took some seeds and germinated them on a damp piece of paper towel because I really wanted the seeds to sprout. I cleaned them, I dried them, I got them on the paper towel, but they turned black. A lot of mycelium, gross mold. You know, we threw that out quick. I don't even know why I tried that. We also took a skull shape and put it around one of the cucumbers next to the skull, the shell shape, and tried that. But even though the cucumber shell didn't grow, it looks like something else really cool happened that you'll find out if you want to know more about that. I'll do it in the next week's video. But back to the shell. So I thought to myself, imagine if I put a thick string around it so we could grow cucumber stripes. That would be insane. But the moment of truth, sort of a fail, but also a win, because the cucumber actually came out tie-dyed. Because who doesn't want a tie-dyed cucumber? And plus, I figured I've got to cut this thing open to see if it grew seeds so that we can remove them and grow them so our striped cucumber experiment can begin. So this was a long journey. Thank you so much for coming along this 1-year journey with me. Come back next week to hear about how we grew a cucumber-shaped skull. So maybe this year we're gonna grow a striped cucumber.
Love you.